You imitated me twice, but have you ever had anybody who wanted to beat your ass because you imitated them? It was so crazy.
Man.
So
Right.
how do you stay so relevant and how do you stay, I mean, just so consistent?
I was trying to figure out what I can do to make my stuff stand out.
What's up,
What
brother?
cracking?
Are you in New York?
Nah, I'm in LA.
Thank God, man. It is freezing over here. It is a bunch of snow. It's just miserable.
Yo, I
Miserable.
escaped 2 snowstorms. Like I came out there to do the show last week and then last Saturday, and it snowed like right when I was leaving. So I've been very lucky. I'm sorry to tell you that, but
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But I got to tell you something, man. I've known you for many, many years. I probably met you when Kenan and Cal. I met you probably in the year 2000 or whatever, and you were just a
I
young man,
remember
right?
that. I would say it was like 90s, bro. Like,
Yeah. I've seen you grow so much, but you kind of are like under the radar stealth and just steady. Just
yeah,
steady, and to be in your world with so many talented people out there and everybody trying to be the next person, especially today. Now you see there's a lot of people becoming very popular due to their talents because of social media. There's no blocking them from being seen anymore because there's no network that could say, hold on, I'm gonna give you a shot.
right.
How do you stay so relevant, and how do you stay, I mean, just so consistent? I mean, in the most inconsistent damn place of business.
Yeah. I mean, training is highly critical. I think, I was allowed to experience what it's like to perform in my Nickelodeon years. You know what I mean? I was around real productions, doing movies with, Mighty Ducks and stuff like that. So I was able to be around it at a young age and then also embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Like I really wanted this life. Like I wanted to be a working actor. I wanted to be a producer one day. You know what I'm saying? So I take it all really seriously from a very young age, and then being able to get that practice before the whole world is watching, like we were doing on Nickelodeon. Like we did 9 seasons of television before people really knew to like overly pay attention to us. And then the in between years between Nickelodeon and SNL, it was like, all right, so prove it, young man. And I didn't do stand up necessarily, so it was a slower process for me. It was like job to job and then SNL. And that's when it was like, all right, that bridge is crossed now, basically.
Do you, after so many years, do you still go and seek further training, or do you develop more of a style of your own that works for you, or do you get inspired by the other people you are across you're acting with, and say, "Wow, that person just knows how to deliver this, and I should think of this." Like,
Yeah,
what inspires you?
I guess I'm definitely inspired by people that have, been trained through, schools and whatnot. I've always been more like I need to work type minded. So I've kind of been, learning on the job, and I've been blessed to be around the greatest actors that there has ever been. You know what I mean? And the one thing I notice about them is that they learn their lines and they are very professional people. And like once you have your lines, you can make them your own. And that's a big thing about performing. You know what I'm saying? It's not about just saying words. It's about what do you bring to it? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people probably have Al Sharpton impressions, but what's special about mine? I'm having a good time with mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see a lot of people putting in here words like the good burger and like so many different things that they have loved from you. But have you ever had anybody who wanted to beat your ass because you imitated them?
Steve was definitely like that. Steve
Who?
Harvey. or-
He was hot. He got hot.
Yeah, he was hot. He was like, you better tell Lil Rerun to calm down over there.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Because I remember when I saw you imitate me, and it
Yeah,
was fun. It was fun. But I was wondering if you were like,
like,
this is D.
that was
Let me
kind
just,
of funny or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Like I'm way more fly than that or something you were saying. Like, yeah, you ain't like super duper love it like that necessarily.
So, do you ever turn down, like you can't turn, I mean, you're working, right? Do they ever go, yo, here's the role, and you got to imitate somebody like Kanye, and when you see him, he gonna go ham on you. Do you ever go, yo, do we got to do this?
Oh, yeah, like not necessarily. Like I ain't really worried about people like that. I just don't want anybody to be upset. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
you know, it's all in good fun, and hopefully, you know, people can take a joke. I know I have to take my jokes. Like the first time I saw somebody do an impression of me, I was like, oh shit, am I really like that? You know. Oh, so I understood what that feeling feels like, but at the same time, it's all in love coming from me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm usually doing something that is reflecting something that has touched me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you come across my radar, is because I enjoyed what I like. Now you're a public figure in my mind, so
Yeah,
you're open.
I'm laughing because I'm just thinking about your timing. Because whenever I think you imitated me twice, but you time. They said something. You were like, uh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess I got.
And what am I looking at here? I don't understand.
This is a lamp with sunglasses.
Oh, I guess I did understand that.
Your timing was so so crazy.
Ah man.
So 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 why don't listen, first of all, it's Black History Month, and I think that a lot of times we definitely look up to those who have built these platforms for you and I to be who we are. But often, there is a kid right now, man or a woman, whoever it is, who idolizes you, and they've never pretty much thought that they can be a certain person until they saw you. I've
Mm-hmm.
had that happen to me a lot of times. And do you know any, or do you have any fond memories of a young man or woman who said to you, hey, I decided to follow my path and follow this part of my career because something you did, or have you run across those things?
I mean, yeah, I get messages like that on Insta, but it's not people I've necessarily met in person. But they do tell me like, yo, I never thought that I could be on television until I saw you be on there. Or I never thought like a guy my size could be on television or whatever, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So that always feels good. And, I mean, little things have like worked out to where it just so happened that, we had like Lil Rel come through like our comedy competition thing years ago in Chicago before he got on, you know what I'm saying? And like just being around people and still trying to like do things for other people. You just never know who's gonna like fall through and do 10 minutes of comedy, you know what I'm saying? And that's what happened years ago. Like I think he might have won the competition or something like that. So you never know what you're doing for people and who they're about to become. You just have to have that open heart to just try to give back something.
Yeah, and with all the seasons of SNL, is there any fond memories of a musical performance or an actor that really comes to mind, or that like that yeah, anything you could tell us? People ask me that about Shark Tank, obviously, but SNL, it's Saturday Night Live. It's happening in real time, you know?
And my first season was like Outcast, you know what I mean? And when Hey Ya came out, so that was as big as I'd ever seen them. And being from Atlanta, like it was just a special night, basically. Like I couldn't have been more excited. Like that record was so big, but I was already such a huge fan of theirs.
Yeah.
But that was a hometown thing. Like I've been up there when Paul McCartney was like, I think he might have hosted or musical guest, one of the two, but I know Mick Jagger hosted and like all that kind of shit, man. Like just the biggest names that you can ever even imagine just come strolling through there like it's nothing.
And when you see comedians like a Dave Chappelle or Eddie come through,
Yeah.
um, I can't even imagine how to see, to see that,
Bruh,
how it must be.
Eddie, man, it was like, I don't know, it was like watching Jesus walking around or something, man. Just that dude has been everything to every member of my family. You know what I'm saying? He was the
Yeah.
first big movie star. So it's just like everything he's done, pretty much everybody quotes. You know what I'm saying? And he's kind of the only guy like that. And then all of a sudden he's just walking around trying to figure out the jokes.
Yeah. So with this great consistent career that, listen, hopefully you're on there as long as you would love to be on there and they'll have you. Why do you still go out and work and do other, other positions and other jobs? And now I want to get into the new show you got. Like, why do you do that? Why don't you just sit back and say, I got a nice steady gig. Maybe I want to open up another business, Fat
Yeah,
Burger, whatever, like
damn.
a good burger.
It's kind of always been the goal. Like SNL is always like the platform to launch people into their careers. You know what I mean? Like I've kind of only been the one that's been able to do both my whole kind of time being there, just because I had a lot going on, I guess, before I got there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I was already doing stuff and familiar to people and households and blah, blah, blah. So it's just been like I'm gonna always continue to take the job. I mean, Steve told me years ago, like Steve Harvey, he was like, man, take every job that they offer. So I was like,
Yeah,
take that with a grain of salt. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna take every job, but I felt him on that. It was like, you just
yeah.
never know the app is gonna shut off. So you get it while the getting is good.
The OGs will tell you. Steve said Steve is the hardest man in the business, hardest working man in the business. But yet, I was talking to IT the other day. He was like, "I'm trying to get every bag that exists. I'm trying to get every bag. You want to see me on this commercial talking about, whatever that I play a detective on here and take care of your car. Then I'm a detective. Then I'm on tour. So absolutely. So I want to hear about the new show. You want to say something? Good.
Now, everybody's kind of in that mentality. Like, you look at Kevin Hart and what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he's doing 15 million different things. You know, so it's kind of like a new culture where it's like no limitations, basically. Like, do whatever you want to do whatever makes you happy, sign as many deals as you want, as long as you can kind of fulfill them all. But yeah, let's talk about the show. It's called
Yeah,
Me.
I want to
Yeah.
elaborate on that one thing that you were saying before that, though. You know where I think everybody has their exposure to where you see the hardest working man or hardest working woman.
Hmm.
You remember back in the days where, like obviously, things were controlled by media companies, like we didn't have this type of stuff, but everybody would be like, yo, I got an album coming out, so I can't hop on too many records. And that one year that Lil Wayne got on 17,000 joints and was like, listen, if you got to keep your stuff so hidden, then you ain't got enough material. You
Right.
you're not versatile. So I think that's where I started to realize, get that bag any way you can if you can do it and you're skilled enough to do it.
Kind of, man. I mean, it's a different world. These aren't the times when you can just be a movie star and be hidden from the world for forever. Still continue to like rely on them paying you a major amount of money just because you're that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole business has been flipped over on its head. So everybody's doing, a million different things just to, number one, keep up, but also number two, man, it's a lot of outlets out there, so you can provide opportunity for so many other people. Like, that's my biggest thing. That's why I keep signing deals. Like, as a producer, it has nothing to do with me. It's like what I feel like I can put all these people to work doing.
Right. So yeah, come on, brother. Let's talk about this new thing. It's February 16th. It kicks off. I saw some of the stuff on your Instagram feed. Tell me about it. Tell me about the concept
Yeah, man,
and all the good stuff.
they waiting on me to come back right now. I'm
Okay.
at we shooting. It's called Kenan. I play a widowed father of two beautiful little girls, and my brother and my father-in-law will live with me and try to help me raise them, basically. My father-in-law is being played by Don Johnson, the great, and my brother is being played by Chris Red, and balancing that work home life, basically. I'm hosting.
Don Johnson,
Yeah,
Miami Vice.
yeah, Don Johnson, Miami Vice.
I, I thought there was going to be a person of color. Is Don Johnson your father-in-law?
Yeah, he's
You
my father.
said that's going to be great.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely different. Like, we wanted to make something different because we already have, Blackish and Black AF and Mixedish and
Yeah.
at the Carmichael show and, Marlon and Craig Robinson show. So there's been a lot of shows lately, and I was trying to figure out what I can do to make my stuff stand out. So yeah, it's an interesting cast over here.
And is it so you have these three men raising these two little girls, and
Yeah.
so you have the challenge of them trying to understand that world, understand them, being compassionate, being tough, and I guess the little girls are probably running the household in but so many ways, right? Like we all deal with.
Exactly that, and then balancing my work life. Like, I'm the host of Atlanta's #2 morning show. My village of people over there are helping me raise the girls too. Like, the producer lady of the show, her name is Kimry Lewis, brilliant actor, and just a lot of funny people. There's other like co-anchors on the show that are all comedians and stuff. So it's gonna be pretty funny.
I never knew Don Johnson. Like, so where did you find him? Because recently he started to emerge back, and my and my favorite role of him is on Django when he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so I want you to walk him around when he a free man.
You gotta
You
remember.
want him to treat him like a white man? No, 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 no. I ain't say that. What's the little boy? What's the little boy that worked down at the hardware store? You know, he killed
What?
it.
Yeah, no, he's brilliant. Like, between Django, Watchmen, and Knives Out, his like last three big joints, like, he showed me he was definitely capable of doing a sitcom. I mean, like Nash Bridges, you know, was comedic, even though it was still cops or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we landed on him because, you know, he was available and he was down. It was a long list of people, and in the pilot before, you know, a couple of years ago, before we redeveloped the concept, Andy Garcia was playing my father-in-law. So it's always been, you know, an out of the box, what you wouldn't necessarily think kind of person that we've been going after.
Well, I'm gonna let you get back to work. I got to tell you something, man. In the cancel culture, everybody's one title away from, one clickbait away from being canceled, but you have been consistent, and we always hear about, you know, a lot of people in trouble and various other things, but we don't get to celebrate the people like you who have just been truly, truly consistent, and your body of work is entertaining. That's why I'm sitting here dying laughing when I'm talking to you, and I ain't trying to insult you, but because of your work.
No doubt.
You bring me joy right now, man. So it's a pleasure for me to know you, brother, and all the best and congratulations. I'll be watching that show on February 16th, and
Yes,
more success to you.
likewise, brother. You know it, man. I can't even tell you. I didn't even get a chance to tell you how much I've been watching your hustle all these years. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember meeting you, but I always remember you being the in and out cat. Like you was like, hey, what's up? Good to meet y'all, and then back at it, like on the
Yeah.
phone. The books, like whatever, like not really trying to be on that, like, oh, let's take a picture, you know what I mean, type nonsense. Not that it's nonsense, but it was just, it wasn't the work, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you always the dude that seemed to be there for the work. And I was like, man, I gotta watch this dude. And sure enough, there you go, graduating through the years and turning into like such the mogul, like that I thoroughly respect and like am still trying to attain to get into those shoes. So I watch you closely, my brother, and I respect you. And I wish you nothing but big, big success in your future as well. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man. We're gonna do something together, man. I appreciate you.
What's up? Now, it's the Sharp Daymond John here, and if you're already here, I already know you're dedicated to bettering yourself and learning as much as you can. To learn even more, subscribe to my channel and make sure that you don't miss any of these valuable videos, and I will see you next time.